Hi, my name is Vanessa Fernandez, and I grew up in the church. I grew up as a church planter's daughter, was actively involved in any and every role that I could be a part of, and I loved it. I loved getting to pray for other women, lead Bible studies, host things in my home. I loved memorizing scripture for little prizes at VBS as a little girl. And it was my whole world. My family was my church was my family. This was my mission in life, and I took it very, very seriously. And one of the things that I appreciate from my upbringing was that love was the center, and love was the motivator. And we were constantly asking ourselves as a family, what is some of the pain that we see in the world? And what can we do to affect and influence change and healing? And when I think about what we're trying to do here with this coaching practice, it still has love at the core. That is something that, although I have moved on from some of the external expressions of love that I used to participate in, that core is still there. And that question of how can I be a part of a movement, a community, an environment where healing is present, where suffering is alleviated. That's what I want to do with this practice, and that is the motivator that has remained throughout it all. So that's what I hope to do with this deconstruction coaching, is to remind us all that you began in love, you will return to love, and love has never left us any step of the way. Sometimes we can be afraid as we start deconstructing that we are going to lose who we are, but the essential quality of each of us is love. And what has been beautiful for me to discover through this process is that I can't lose who I am. And in fact, love is what began my deconstruction process, as I started to sense in my soul that some of the practices and some of the teachings in the religious structures that I was a part of actually weren't aligned with love. It was love that has always been that guiding force that both was placed in me as a child and fostered in some of these environments, but then began to pull me out of them and pull me into deeper alignment and pull me into a more pure expression of that love. So certainty is a very powerful drug, and even to take the first steps of saying, I'm not certain that I'm certain anymore, takes incredible courage. To begin this process is not easy and actually plunges our nervous system into chaos. This is why our approach includes somatic work or body work. If we as coaches are not working to help settle the nervous system and provide grounding and safety, then we are not doing work that is holistic and effective to support you through this time. So why do we use the Enneagram as well? Well, deconstruction work has us looking at both who am I and who was I told that I was supposed to be? And then looking at the difference between the two and trying to figure out how do I reconcile these two. Doing Enneagram work is the best tool and the best way that I have found to both explore who we are and who we think we need to be. It's the best tool that I've found to build a path to freedom and to authenticity. At this point in my journey, I feel like I have had the tools to be able to notice when I'm aligned with love and when I am not aligned with love. It almost feels like the difference between marching through a forest with an army and just clearing trees and on the offensive, to becoming at one with the forest, to becoming attuned with existing in community and in unison with nature. And at first, I felt very strange not having marching orders, not having a general, not having weapons and armor. It felt unsafe to leave that structure behind. But as I had my own guide who came and took me under her wing and taught me how to live at one with all things, I actually found that that felt so much more safe and so much more beautiful than simply having to control my inner landscape. I could explore it. I could become at home with it. And this is the journey that we hope to take with each of you. It's not that we have an agenda. It's not that we have a certain type of belief that we're trying to move you toward. It's simply a reacquainting you with yourself and giving you a safe space to have questions, to find who you are in the midst of all the narratives that you might have received about who you felt you should be. My heart for this coaching practice is that it would be a safe space for you to explore, question, and heal, because no one should have to go through this alone.